Hey guys, it's Tizzy again. Today we're making Lightning McQueen's balsamic motor oil chicken. I do not believe that you can actually get this on Disney property. I think it's just like Disney inspired, which is good. I like that stuff. Here I'll put the ingredients list again for you guys to have it, but I'll also link the recipe below so that way you guys can look at it. I wanted to give you guys a taste of how I really cook, so if you saw, I was actually drinking coffee because I'm a very tired person. So I was relaxing a little bit, drinking coffee and getting ready for my day. You can see me on my iPad for a little bit. And the reason why I'm showing you this, despite the fact that, you know, there are recipes on the bottom, is because I want to show you guys that I do not know how to make the things that I'm showing you. I'm not a professional chef. I mess up a lot, as you could see from the sourdough video. And because of that, I wanted to say like, hey, when I make these things, it's just to show you guys that, hey, is this easy to make? Is it hard? Will it turn out better or worse? Is the expectation exactly like the reality, or what is it? So that's why I have the iPad there. Somebody had asked before saying like, hey, don't you want people to know that you know how to cook it? And actually, no. I want you guys to know that it is brand new to me, and I will be the guinea pig and let you guys know if it's good or bad, and then you guys can be junior chefs like me. So here you can see me putting the ingredients together. I put the ingredients together before the pan just so you guys could see it, and you put it together and you mix it before you put it in the pan. And here I'm actually putting the chicken in the pot so that way it'll brown. And then the reason for this is just because you have to cook it a little bit before we put it in the oven. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to sneeze. Stupid allergies. Anyways, I slowed down the video a little bit because I wanted you guys to hear the sizzle and to really see everything in action. The only reason why I sped up the very beginning is just because it's just gathering the ingredients together and mixing it in a bowl. It's nothing too complicated. I will say that one thing I didn't do is I actually did have it frozen before, and I had actually put it in the fridge to defrost, and my mom was like, oh, this needs to go in the freezer, and didn't tell me. So then it was not defrosted all the way, so you guys can kind of tell in the video, but normally you would defrost it, and because of that I actually had to leave it in longer. So if you have it fresh, you don't need to put it, this long. And another thing is the instructions actually said it's for about 8 drumsticks, but I have like 12 in there. And the reason why is because I have really small drumsticks versus like 8 large ones. I learned from my mistake from the chicken parm. So that's why I made sure this time. So I did put in more chicken because I knew. And like I said, you can just watch it and hear it sizzle and hear it cook. I'm flipping it over. And one thing I did want to note is that you can leave it longer so that way it can singe. If you want to do that, just leave the chicken in for 2 or 3 minutes so that way it actually browns. But like I said, for me, the reason why is because I had it frozen before, so it's more yellow. And then not only that, but my mom and my brother actually don't like it singed. I personally do, but they don't like crispy. And the instructions actually said to take off the skin of the chicken, but I actually love the skin of the chicken, so I left it on even though the recipe said not to. One thing I wanted to mention is that the recipe actually calls for fresh rosemary, so it does give it a very good flavor aroma. I didn't have fresh rosemary, and I actually didn't think about it, but I did have dry rosemary. Now, it's okay to substitute dry from fresh, but it won't taste exactly the same just because, like I said, the aroma is obviously better when it is fresh, but fresh is also more expensive. Here I'm transferring the chicken out of the pan. I just can't speak today. I apologize. Out of the pan. Because I'm gonna start to get the other mixture in and then put it in the same pot, so that way we don't have to keep washing dishes. It is still a little bit not cooked all the way, and that's okay because we are still going to put it in the oven. So I don't want you guys to worry about that. We're not going to get any salmonella poisoning here. I've had salmonella poisoning and it sucks. So I do not, you know, I make sure. So in the video, you actually saw me cutting the chicken, and I want to let you guys know the reason why is because that way it can get to the center. Obviously, cooking, the way it works is there's the less surface area there is, the longer it takes to cook. So if I cut it, it means I don't have to cook it as long and it gets all the way through. So remember that mixture I made in the very, very beginning of the video? It's back, and I put it in this pan. Wow, I know, amazing. I'm not sarcastic. Then you put it in the bowl, and we're going to heat that up, and we're going to let it simmer for a little bit because we want to thin it out. You can see the orange marmalade in there, and honestly, I didn't want to buy the marmalade. I was like, I know that it's like the balsamic zest, but do I have to get the marmalade? Because marmalade, it's $3 for something I'll probably only use once. So I Googled it, and I'm like, can I substitute with orange juice? But the recipe actually does call for orange juice, so that I would just be putting double orange juice. But when I looked up all the instructions, they were like, you actually can't, because there's a certain tangy aroma that you actually do need in it. The same reason why I did get a shredder thing and then put in the orange zest, and that's also very important. So you can't skip those, otherwise it's not going to be, the recipe is not going to be as tangy, zesty flavor as we want it to be. So now that the sauce is ready and thinned, I put the halfway cooked chicken back in so it could cook, and then also coat the chicken. And then that way you could, so that way it would have the flavors. And you can actually see the cuts in the chicken from where I cut it, so that way the flavor would actually enter in through, and that way you'd have flavor in every bite. Because I actually do not like bland chicken. It's not my thing. You can cover it up with Tabasco sauce, and I do that all the time, but you know. So there's this pause in the video. It's not frozen. I don't want you to think it's frozen. It's because I had to go get a pan. And you can actually see it's still bubbling because I'm still cooking it a little bit. It just looks like there's no action right now. So I didn't want you guys to think that something was wrong with your computer. It's not. All right, I'm transferring it into the cookie sheet because we're gonna put it in the oven. It's at 350 degrees, and we're gonna put it in for about 25 to 30 minutes. The instructions said 20 to 30, but I checked it at 20, and it was not cooked all the way. And like I said, we're trying to avoid salmonella, and honestly, you want it to be more brown anyways, so trust me, 25 to 30. Okay, so there I am transferring it. I'm making it look really nice. I changed the camera angle so that way you guys could see it in the cookie sheet. That's actually not a cookie sheet. It is I don't even know what it is, but it turns out I don't have a cookie sheet, and it was too late, and I didn't want to not make the stuff, so that's why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna wrap whatever the heck this is in tin foil and then work with it. You know, we work with what we got. You know, I already bought the marmalade. I'm done with this. And so there I am transferring it, and I'm gonna put it in the oven, like I said. And then I do drizzle actually a little bit more onto the chicken that it's not shown, but just because I wanted it to have that flavor all the way. So I put it into my really, really old oven with my not cookie sheet full of chicken. And try not to spill the sauce since there's no edges to this thing. I actually don't know what it is. This is gonna bother me now. And then we cook it for 25 minutes, and then it comes out really, really nice. And the next thing you'll actually see it, and it turns out really, really good and delicious. You'll even see me eating it. It's perfect. I really, really recommend it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you after. Hold on, don't go anywhere. I want to thank you guys for watching my video. I want to let you guys know that the chicken turned out really, really good. But the only problem was it didn't look exactly like the picture, and the reason why is because they actually thickened the sauce a little bit, and they also added like one rind on top to make it that beautiful look, which I didn't do. So if I ever make it in the future, I will definitely do that, so that way I can have like a picture perfect chicken. But other than that, it tasted really good. I did get the opinion of Air Blizzard, my brother, and my mom, and they were like, oh no, it was really good. So it's definitely a recipe that's pretty easy. It only took 20 minutes to make. And I also need to make it because I need to get rid of all that marmalade I have, because I definitely don't use it for toast. I want to thank you guys for watching me, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.